Brad, what sound is the chain case making on your XLT?
It's making a clunk, 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 grind, clunk, clunk, stop.
Great. All right, so we got Brad's XLT here, and you've only seen it on rides. This was Lonnie's XLT. This was his first snowmobile he ever owned, and then circumstances dictated he had to sell it, and Brad picked it up. And I've never turned a wrench on this sled except to maybe change spark plugs. So something happened to the chain case, and or maybe a bearing. So we're going to tear into it today, and we'll take you along for a ride. Lonnie, how's that dipstick looking there?
That's a little hairy.
That's pretty gross.
Who you calling dipstick?
What are you running in there? Freaking the oil out of your Dodge Diesel or what?
Yep, she's a little hairy.
And a nut on there somehow.
Are we ready? Ready to see? I got a...
You got towels down there absorb the goo?
I don't think there's anything in there.
We'll just let her spill. We'll deal with it. Well, I've seen worse. Let's keep going. No, there's a bunch. We better grab a couple of rags. She is not dry. There's a lot of metal in there for some reason, Brad. All right, have a look. Look at it. It's like sparkly, cherry, metallic-y. That's a piece of rubber.
Candy apple metallic?
Candy apple metallic automatic transmission fluid. So, chain. Well, the chain's not super loose. Not super loose
Pretty loose. Well, I did attention to it
at all.
for the last ride.
This,
What's wrong with my seal?
yeah, that's no
Yeah,
good.
There's something wrong with that seal.
Multi-part?
Here's the bolt I had to go fish for, so we'll get that back in its home.
Potential issue here.
Well, we know that's where a lot of the sparkles came from.
There's where we might have got some sparkles. A little bit of metal flake in that.
However, those
transmission
sparkles would not be magnetic.
fluid. They would not.
Went up and around in there.
Something went roundy round.
Or the chain was just that loose.
Just that loose.
I think the chain was just that loose.
Or that tight?
All right, let's get this guy off.
Backed off, quarter turn.
Hey, what did I read? I read somewhere you're supposed to 20 inch pounds
I thought it was 12.
and back it
Okay,
up.
Yeah.
that gear looks pretty good.
That's good.
Bottom gear is awful wobbly on there.
Where it was just hand tight.
Splines still look good on that, which is good.
Still ain't finding nothing.
Well, the chain's so loose it just comes off. So far so good. I don't know.
Terrible.
Let's check on the needle bearing's still nice and tight. Still fits good. All right, good, because that's expensive stuff.
Yes.
So
Chain ain't broke.
the chain's not broke, but it's not even that bad. It's not that badly worn out.
So did the idler just loosen up?
I don't know. Maybe
Possible.
some bearings.
I think it's that bottom bearing. That's where all the fluid went.
That's highly possible.
Where's that red light?
Highly possible. Seal on the bottom seal on the back of the chain.
Oh, here it is, Brad. Your two screws that held this up here. See, there were supposed to be two screws holding this wear plate.
Oh, they came
Can you
out.
see that on camera? Wonder where those screws are. But this wear plate was laying in the bottom of your chain
I
case.
bet you they're on the end of that magnet.
Or they were at one point.
That was all your...
Or they're still in there somewhere.
Yeah, it sounded like the chain was ready to crunch.
It was...
Oh, that was
Well, it would. When it's,
Nope, I found part of one of them.
when it's rubbing on that plate.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So
Here's
this is what's going on.
What does that actually do? Just like
It's just a wear plate.
wear plate so the chain doesn't hit the aluminum.
okay.
I'm gonna have to get a couple little flathead quarter 20s and Loctite them in.
It's funny that didn't.
When we put it back together.
It didn't go through anything, so there's
I'm
no.
glad I shut it off and put it on the trailer.
It might have been a saving grace.
All right. Well, are we still going to do bearings?
Don't think we need to.
Well, we don't need to, but do we want to?
What do we do? Jam it up and see?
Yeah, something like that. Getting my camera all oily from the chain case. I don't know, Brad. Do we want to do chain case, jack shaft, drive shaft bearings?
I say we look into it a little closer and determine it.
Well, let's drop the skid out and then try to give the drive shaft a spin and see how it feels.
See how that feels.
Wait, you had a lot of leakage though, right?
Yes, it was dry.
If it's leaking that bad, we probably got to do all the bearings and
But
seals.
that could be the.
No, that probably lower
nah.
C inside on the case.
I think we're going all the way in. We'll do the bearings and
We had
seals.
just filled it on the last fun run.
Yeah.
The day we all filled ours out there.
All right,
By
we're
the
going
end,
in.
we'll-
She's a little tight.
Yeah. All right. That's no good.
Looks like it ate something.
You see any marks in there?
Yeah, on the one side it's all hard to see, I guess, but
It definitely ate a screw.
yeah, just the fact that it ain't laying straight.
All right. So there will be a new chain before it goes back together.
Yeah, that should
How the gears look? The top gear looks a little chewy.
it's a little chewy.
It wouldn't be a horrible idea to replace that gear.
Yeah.
How about the super expensive bottom one? The top gear's normal. Grab that shaft out of there. That's going to come out. And that one's fine. That's the reverse gear. So that wouldn't even have had any torque on it.
Yeah, but there's pieces flying around in
Well,
there.
we got to get it clean. How do the teeth look on that? Oh, pretty good yet.
I think the teeth are alright on that one.
Yeah, that's good because that's the expensive part there. All right, so Brad's got to get a top gear
Oh,
and
yeah, there's
and a
definitely
chain.
a burr on there, though.
We're not done yet.
Well, we may have to clean it off a little with
There's
some Scotch
definitely a
Brite,
burr on a
but
couple of those.
Maybe a
for
part.
sure.
Yeah, well, it's pretty sharp. You can actually see it there.
Yeah, you can see that one.
you think it can't be used?
No, I think we can deburr it. And
Every time you
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just deburr it then. It'll be fine.
Shipments?
yep.
You guys don't see this.
Can you get a wrench over on that
This
side?
you guys haven't seen this thing come out very much.
Well, yeah, that's
This is the big gun for the big issues.
it's tight now.
Let me wrap it down tighter with this. All right, Brad. Now try to get that out.
Nope.
Or do you want to hit it with the big one?
Hit it with the big one.
Here, take.
That's what she said.
Uh-oh. Here you go.
Oh my god, I need two hands. Oh, two-way trigger, too.
That sounds like it worked. Maybe.
Battery's dead.
Oh, well, I just grabbed a random battery off the bench.
Oh, that was the dead one we just. How about now?
It looks like
one
it's
came loose.
moving.
That one came loose.
Well, the next step is the air ratchet.
Why don't you tighten while I loosen?
Okay.
I don't know who's winning that battle.
Well,
Here, Brad. Let's try the old IR stun gun.
okay.
Well, I know we need it for that, for the back one, because that wouldn't budge.
Is it holding over there, Doc?
Nope, I think it's loosening up over here. I'm watching the tunnel move out, so
Well, then it's loosening.
yep, it's loose over here.
I say, should we run them both at the same time again, or no?
Try.
Try running that one in tight. Should we put it on the bigger gun?
This is the biggest gun I got.
Well, no, on that side, I'm saying.
Nope, it's not working.
Well, that ain't good. Huh.
Try tightening that side with the gun.
Yeah, try tightening that side with this.
The only thing I can suggest is putting something under the skid and trying to get more pressure on the cross
drop
shaft.
it back down.
It won't, because it's a tube. You'll never crush the tube.
Well, I just put a little pressure on it. You know what I mean? Not to crush it, but
I don't know if it'll work. Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying no, but
that's tight.
that's exceedingly tight at this point.
Can we squirt some stuff in there from any angle?
Best thing we could do is take that one out and Loctite it. But victory!
Good deal.
So when you guys ask, I got one bolt stuck and the shaft's turning, and I said, you got to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You just saw it. It worked.
Yep. Now take over here, and this side should buzz right out.
Just because this one didn't work, and that little semi-auto over there didn't work.
Sometimes you need the big gun.
Air work.
Gotta get the
Victory.
big
After
gun.
that, we would have used me.
Pizza time in the shop. Yeah, it's time for a new bearing.
I
think
thought
so.
that was the 5 horsepower gain.
Has it loosened up?
Yes.
Bada boom.
All right, that's it. That's as far apart as we're going. Guess we'll get some new bearings ready and start putting her back together.
Wait.
Whoa. Apparently we're going to take a break while Details does his thing.
He needs a lot of that.
Got a match?
It's engine degreaser. What do you got, Lonnie?
Well, on a little closer inspection, I noticed that we got some chain case wear here. It's actually cracked all the way through.
Oh, boy.
We are looking for a new chain case.
I got one under the workbench. And
Yes.
I've already shown how to convert it. You take this shaft off and you put it on the new case. Bingo. Converted.
She's cracked all the
Well, I
way
got a
through.
case down there for it.
Yeah, you do. We're all set.
Yeah.
No big deal. We got
Slight
the parts.
setback.
We got the parts.
We got
I don't even have
parts.
to take those bearings out.
Yeah, we're not even going to mess with taking the bearings out.
We'll
now
do it. We'll
because-
take them out on the other case. This
Yeah,
case is
but
this case is just
this
done.
one's done.
Yep.
The case of the broken case has been solved.
All right, here's one of those tips for you guys. You know, we got that ultra sucky nut inside the tunnel on all Indies. Well, here's how you deal with that when you have the 4-wide drivers. You put your chain case temporarily in place, and then Brad, you could maybe see, is under there. He's torquing down the nut. We could torque down all 3 of those nuts on the jack shaft. We just got to be reasonably careful not to move the damn thing around. And then we can pull the chain case back off. It'll hang in space, and that way we won't have anything overstressed. At least not when it's running.
John's like,
Well-
God, my stress level's going higher.
Yeah.
We're just going to clean the carbs.
While we're at it, there's some tarnishing going on, and
Yeah.
it's. When did you say you last cleaned these, Lonnie?
Well, I bought the sled originally in
Should we do the crank
2015,
seals then too?
and I think we did the. I
Your
think
crank?
we did the. We cleaned the carburetors in the Ultrasonic 6000 over there, and I don't know if they've been touched since.
I haven't touched
2015.
15.
it. I had it 2 years now.
Oh.
This will be my 3rd season.
And we're noticing some of these oil or fuel lines are a little tough, so we're going to replace those. All the typical stuff.
You know, yeah.
You're in
There's
here, do it.
19.
All the stuff
I don't
we do
know
when we
when the
clean the
last
cars.
time that fuel filter was cleaned or replaced.
Think there's a part number on it?
All right, we're going to call it quits there. We're ready to put the chain case in except for that wear plate. Where's that wear plate go? Right here. We got to get the 2 little screws, which I don't have the 2 little screws.
So we'll Loctite them in.
And we'll Loctite them in so we don't have that
Can
catastrophe
we use
again.
extra strength?
Extra strength. We're going to use red Loctite.
All right.
Oil resistant red Loctite.
Please.
So there we go. I don't know. I guess we'll call this the end of part 1. We're halfway done and we're already starting to go back together. So thanks to the patrons. Really appreciate you guys. Want to mention to everybody that isn't a patron yet that if you join the patron, you can watch the videos ad-free on Patreon. You got to join at the $5 a month more level, but you get to watch them ad-free on Patreon. Not on YouTube. Can't offer free on YouTube, but I can offer that on Patreon, $5 a month or more. Are we going to clean the carbs too, Brad?
Just so you guys know, we are cleaning the carbs.
Oh yeah.
We always clean the carbs. So, that said, thanks everybody. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you at the swap meets.
Yeah.
So much for the trail, huh?